I want you to picture this. You're at the airport, buzzing with excitement for a dream vacation. But as you approach security, you learn a hidden rule, just weeks old, has made something in your luggage illegal. We've uncovered the 10 newest and most shocking items now banned from flights. And trust me, ignoring these could get your entire trip canceled before it even leaves the ground. You think you know the rules of flying. No large liquids, no sharp objects. For years, that was enough. But in 2025, the rulebook has been thrown out. Airlines and global security agencies are now targeting everyday items, popular gadgets, common powders, and even certain types of clothing. These aren't minor updates. They're enforced with zero tolerance. Getting caught means frustrating delays, confiscated property, or being denied boarding on the spot. To make sure that doesn't happen to you, I've dug through the latest TSA, FAA, and international policies. What you're about to learn is the expert knowledge that separates a dream vacation from a travel nightmare. First on our list is the traveler's lifeline, the portable power bank. This essential gadget has suddenly become a major liability. The rules have become incredibly strict, and I've seen gate agents seizing piles of them. It's no longer just about the battery's capacity. It's about how and where you pack it. After a few alarming fire incidents, some airlines now forbid you from even using the power bank during the flight. You can bring it, but you can't charge your phone in the air. The bigger issue is the chaotic mess of rules. Some policies now state power banks can't be in your overhead roller bag at all. They demand it be in your personal item under your seat, where you can physically see it if it starts to overheat. This means a passenger with a perfectly legal power bank in their carry-on roller can be stopped at the gate and told they've broken the rules. Here's how to stay clear of this mess. First, capacity. Anything over 100 watt-hours, that's roughly 27,000 mAh, requires special airline approval. My advice? Just stick to power banks under 20,000 mAh to be safe. Second, and this is the crucial part, always pack it in your backpack or purse that stays with you, never in a roller bag destined for the overhead bin. Finally, check your specific airline's power bank policy online before you leave. Don't let your lifeline become a liability. At number 2, we have smart luggage. These high-tech suitcases were once hailed as the future of travel. Now, they could be the reason you're forced to abandon your bag at check-in. The core of the problem is the non-removable lithium-ion battery. While this rule has existed for a few years, enforcement has become brutally strict. It's no longer just about a bag with an obvious charging port. Any suitcase with integrated electronics, I'm talking digital scales, remote locks, hardwired GPS trackers, is getting flagged. I've watched travelers frantically trying to pry batteries out of their own expensive luggage with a pen at the counter. It's a disaster. Gate agents have zero wiggle room on this. If the battery doesn't pop out tool-free, the bag stays behind. Not in the cabin, not in the cargo hold, period. So here's the fix. If you already own a smart bag, you must be absolutely certain the battery is designed for easy, tool-free removal. If so, pop it out before you even approach the check-in desk and carry it into the cabin with you. If you're shopping for new luggage, my expert advice is to buy a great, dumb suitcase. You can easily make it smart with a compliant power bank and a removable tracker like an AirTag. You get all the benefits with none of the risk. Number 3 is something that trips up even seasoned travelers, powders. And this isn't about anything illicit. We're talking about your protein powder, baby formula, ground coffee, and the spices you plan to bring home as a souvenir. The new reality is that security agencies in the US, UK, and Australia are treating powders with the same suspicion as liquids, fearing they can be used to hide explosives. A rule similar to the 311 liquids rule is now being aggressively enforced. Any powdered substance in your carry-on that's in a container larger than 12 ounces or 350 milliliters will trigger a mandatory secondary screening. This is where the travel dream starts to fray. That large, sealed tub of protein powder guarantees a full bag search. Agents will open it and test the contents. If it's in an unmarked container or just looks dense on the X-ray, they might just confiscate it to keep the line moving. Your innocent coffee grounds end up in a gray security bin. The solution is to pack powders strategically. If you have to bring them in your carry-on, use multiple, small, clear containers that are all under the 12-ounce limit. Keeping them in their original labeled packaging helps immensely. For things like protein powder, just buy single-serving packets. If you're bringing back spices from your trip, it's far safer to pack them in your checked luggage. In 2025, if a powder is in your carry-on, small and clearly labeled is the only way to fly. Number 4 isn't an item banned from your bag, but a practice banned at the airport, paying with cash. Airports and airlines are rapidly going cashless, and showing up with only bills in your wallet can leave you genuinely stranded. I see this trend accelerating everywhere. Airport parking, airline check-in counters, and baggage fee stations are increasingly card-only. This means you can't pay for your checked bags, last-minute seat upgrades, or change fees with paper money. Even airport restaurants and shops are starting to reject cash, leaving travelers with no way to buy a bottle of water. The panic is real, especially when you're running late. Your bag is 2 pounds overweight, you owe a $50 fee, and your flight is boarding. You pull out cash, and the agent simply says, "I'm sorry, we're card only." Now you're in a desperate scramble for a reverse ATM to convert your cash to a prepaid card, all while the gate is about to close. The solution here is non-negotiable. You must travel with a digital payment method. A credit card, a debit card, or a phone with Apple or Google Pay is no longer a convenience. It's a requirement. Before you leave for the airport, ensure you have at least 2 different card options ready. Cash may still be king in some places, but the airport is no longer its kingdom. Number 5 is more personal than your luggage. It's your outfit. I'm seeing airlines enforce dress codes more strictly than ever, and the wrong t-shirt can actually get you kicked off a flight. The problem lies in the vague contract of carriage that we all agree to when we buy a ticket. It gives them the right to ban clothing that is lewd, obscene, or offensive. The catch? These terms are completely subjective and left to the discretion of the gate agent or flight crew having a good or bad day. This is where it gets messy. There has been a surge in passengers being blocked from boarding for wearing simple crop tops, very short shorts, or hoodies with edgy graphics. Some airline policies are shockingly specific, banning any visible swimwear or requiring clothing to cover the entire upper torso. The worst part is that if you're denied boarding for your outfit, you're not getting a refund. You're just stranded until you can find and buy a new, acceptable one. The only way to win this game is to play it safe. Think smart casual and inoffensive. Avoid clothes with political slogans, aggressive graphics, or anything that could be misinterpreted. It's also incredibly smart to travel with a light jacket or sweater. If an agent questions your shirt, being able to simply cover up might be the fix that saves your entire trip. Okay, we're halfway through. If any of this has been a wake-up call for you, hit that subscribe button right now. We drop new travel intelligence like this every week to keep you ahead of the curve, so you don't miss the one update that could save your vacation. Now, let's get back to the list. Number 6 is a product that many people bought for peace of mind: the personal air purifier. Many health-conscious travelers invested in these, but airlines have now banned the most common type. The issue is twofold: safety and electronic interference. The FAA has issued clear warnings that any device that intentionally produces ozone is forbidden, as it can interfere with sensitive aircraft systems and actually degrade cabin air quality. To be specific, portable ozone generators are now on the prohibited electronic devices list. This one stings because it penalizes people for trying to be more cautious. Imagine relying on your purifier for peace of mind, only to have a security agent tell you it's a hazard and confiscate it. They won't just ask you to turn it off, they will take it. It feels like a penalty for trying to stay safe. The smart move is to leave these devices at home, especially if it's an ozone generator. Instead, you have to trust the plane's own systems. Commercial jets are equipped with hospital-grade HEPA filters that completely refresh the cabin air every 2 to 3 minutes. If you are still concerned, a high-quality face mask is your proven, approved, and best bet. The verdict is in. Ozone-emitting purifiers are now officially considered a risk, not a remedy. At number 7, we have to talk about something beyond laptops. There's a growing crackdown on large or non-standard electronics in your carry-on. Think gaming consoles, VR headsets, and larger drones. The problem isn't an outright ban, but a guaranteed security headache that I see play out all the time. Airport X-ray scanners are optimized to recognize laptops and tablets. When a dense, oddly shaped item like a PlayStation 5 or a VR headset passes through, It creates an indecipherable, suspicious image that the agent simply cannot clear without a manual inspection. This triggers a mandatory, time-consuming bag search every single time. This creates a gut-wrenching choice for gamers, content creators, and tech professionals. You packed your expensive gear in your carry-on to protect it, only to be forced into a situation where you might have to check it. We've all seen how checked bags are handled, and the thought of a $1,000 headset being thrown onto a luggage cart is a true nightmare. Here's the pro move. Plan ahead. First, check your airline's specific rules for your device. The safest, though painful option is to pack it in a protective hard-shell case inside your checked luggage and carry any removable lithium-ion batteries into the cabin with you. If you absolutely must try it in your carry-on, be prepared for a guaranteed secondary screening and pack it at the very top of your bag so it can be removed instantly without a full-on unpacking scene. Number 8 isn't a banned item, but a banned process: checking in without a smartphone. The aggressive move to app-only systems and the death of the paper boarding pass is accelerating. Let's be clear, this isn't a trend, it's the new reality. Airlines are actively dismantling older check-in methods. Airport kiosks are vanishing, and some budget carriers now charge a hefty fee to check in with a human agent at the counter. Their goal is to force every single passenger onto their mobile app. At the same time, paper boarding passes are being phased out as airports shift to biometric boarding gates, where your face literally becomes your ticket. This creates a massive barrier for anyone who isn't tech-savvy, has an unreliable smartphone, or is justifiably worried about their battery dying. Imagine arriving at the airport to find no kiosk and a massive line to see an agent who then charges you an agent assistance fee. It's a very real problem for many travelers. The only solution is to adapt. Here's my unbreakable rule. Download your airline's app well before your trip. Check in the moment it opens, usually 24 hours pre-flight, and always take a screenshot of your digital boarding pass. That screenshot is your offline backup. And of course, travel with a fully charged phone and a compliant power bank. The paper boarding pass is going extinct. Your smartphone is now your absolute key to the flight. Number 9 is an old rule with a painful new twist: the incredible shrinking carry-on bag. Airlines are not only quietly reducing the size limits, but they're also enforcing them with a brutal new efficiency. The problem is the combination of shrinking allowances and the gotcha moment at the gate. The International Air Transport Association, IAT, has recommended a smaller carry-on standard, and airlines are eagerly adopting it. This means your trusted carry-on bag, the one that has flown with you for years, might suddenly be considered too big. The new standard is trending towards 22x14 x 9 inches, and that includes the wheels and handles. The most frustrating part is the tactic I see more and more at the gate. You cleared check-in, you cleared security, everything seems fine. Then, as you're about to board, the gate agent points you to that dreaded metal sizer. If your bag doesn't fit by half an inch, the penalty is a forced gate check, often for a much higher fee than if you had checked it initially. It feels less like a rule and more like a last-minute shakedown for profit. Here's how you beat this game. Use a tape measure. Before you fly, physically measure your bag yourself, wheels and handles included. Then, go online and check the exact carry-on dimensions for your specific airline. If you're flying a budget carrier, it's almost always cheaper and far less stressful to just pay for a checked bag online in advance. In this new era, an inch over the limit is the same as a foot over. Finally, number 10. This is a ban that can ruin one of the best parts of travel: bringing home edible souvenirs. This is a tradition for so many of us, but stricter agricultural regulations are turning it into a high-stakes gamble. The reason is the very real and rising risk of invasive species and agricultural diseases. As a result, customs agents are on extremely high alert. This means seemingly harmless items like a beautiful piece of fruit, a homemade sausage from a local market, or certain types of cheese are being confiscated on the spot. The rules are incredibly complex and change constantly based on your origin and destination countries. A pork product from a country with a known swine fever outbreak, for example, will be seized and destroyed instantly. This one is heartbreaking for food lovers. I've seen the disappointment when someone finds the perfect local cheese, packs it with care, and dreams of sharing it with family, only for a customs agent to declare their prize a biohazard. On top of that, some airlines now ban overly smelly foods like durian fruit from the cabin due to passenger complaints, so you can get stopped by the airline itself. The only way to navigate this is with research and honesty. Before you buy an edible souvenir, do a quick Google search for the customs rules of your destination country. As a general rule, commercially packaged and factory-sealed items are far safer than fresh or homemade ones. Most importantly, always declare any food you're carrying on your customs form. If you declare it and it's not allowed, they'll likely just confiscate it. If you don't declare it and get caught, you could be facing a very serious fine. And that's the list. 10 new rules that can trip you up in 2025. It's clear that travel is changing fast, and staying informed is now as critical as your passport. For me, the crackdown on dress codes and shrinking carry-on sizes are the most shocking, turning a simple flight into a last-minute problem. What rule surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below. My best advice: always check the official airline and security websites before you fly. Policies can and do change overnight. If this video helped you, hit the like button. And for more essential travel intelligence that keeps you flying smart, make sure you subscribe.